Okay, so this is the third in my Attractor Event Series. And what this is today we're going to talk about how to use a couple of my favorite AI tools to enhance your attraction of your ideal client. So one of the things that I am a huge fan of is researching the people that you want to work with. So what that
Mhm.
could look like could be as simple as you go to a networking event, and while you're there, say there's 40 people in the room, and you see somebody or you hear something that triggers that person could be a good referral partner for me or a good client for me. Then you go quickly and do the research, and that's your one person to have a one-on-one with from that meeting. I never do more than that. Otherwise, my calendar last year was full of meaningless one-on-one get to know you coffee chats, and I had to decide, okay, it's time for me to not do meaningless meetings with people. Like, I don't want to, no offense, I don't want to just get to know you. I want to have this move both of our businesses forward. I'm not out there looking just to make more friends. If I meet you, I want to be referral partners. There needs to be synergy. Maybe we could teach a workshop together. Maybe I could be a client of yours. Maybe I have clients for you. Maybe you could be a client of mine. Otherwise, no, thank you. Please don't. I don't want to do it. That is just where I've gotten to in the last 15 years of doing networking and meetings and everything. And now what we're going to talk about today is how to enhance that. And what that could mean for you is meeting between 2 and 6 people a week and have that actually move the needle in your business. I don't know how many meetings you have a month. Do me a favor and think about that. How many coffee chats, get to know you meetings, and discovery calls with actual clients are you having per month? Put that number in the chat for me, and that'll give me a good idea of like where to help you the most. And
Mm.
by using some AI tools, one to narrow in on your ideal client, and then how to use your content to attract them more. And that's part your content pillars, but it's also many people have said to me, oh, you're on social media all the time. No, I'm not. Haven't looked at it once today. And it's an illusion of being more places than you actually are. And I use some AI tools to do that. And I'm going to share my 4 top favorite ones today and my brand new opt-in. I'm going to give you a sneak peek at this little free PDF I'm giving away, and I'll tell you how to grab your copy of it. So great numbers, less than 20 a month. Okay, you could be having more as long as they're clients for you. No meaningless meetings. 20 to 25. Rob, out of those 20 to 25, how many of those calls are with people who could be clients for you?
Um, I'd put it about 20%
Okay.
potential
Okay.
clients. Yeah, 20%.
Okay. So if that was 50%, and then the way you talked to them, that they said, instead of just getting to know you, if
Hmm.
they said, oh, that's for me, I want that. How much fun would that be?
Yes, I would love it.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
bank account would love it. My wife would love it. So there you go.
Yes. Yeah. So win-win. Happy wife, happy life. Did I hit record? Yes, I did. Okay. So first, let's talk about ideal client and where they are for you. Ideal client, you need to know psychographics, demographics. Here's my list. I'm going to run through and I will share these notes with you if you would like. So we want to know pain points. We want to know personal things. That personal connection you have with somebody is 9 times out of 10. That's what's going to sell your product or service. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how I use ChatGPT and the prompt I use to find out more about my ideal client. And if you have ChatGPT on your computer, go ahead and open it in the background and actually do this with me. And you're going to be absolutely amazed at this prompt and the information that it gives you. So let me grab the prompt and then I will share it with you. And it's a little long, so it might have to be in two parts. Yeah, it's going to have to be in two parts. So you're going to have to cut and paste this into your ChatGPT. So here's the first part. When you're asking it for help, you always want to tell it who to act as. And then you'll see in that second paragraph, it says, here's the information about my business. So in between those brackets, that's where you're going to erase what it says and input information about your business. And then where it says audience, you're going to do the same thing in those, erase those brackets and put information about your audience. Describe the broad target for your audience. And then you're seeking that third paragraph, you're seeking expert assistance in crafting a detailed customer avatar for the name of your business, or just use your name. And you want to, the second part, you're going to put all in the same prompt. Let me give you the second part. And this is key. If you put it in already, you can just add this second part in right after the first prompt. Nope, it's going to have to be in three parts. Sorry about that. It's super long. There's the second part for you. And here comes the third part. And again, if you want the PDF version of this, just put your email in the chat and I'll send it to you. So that detailed of a prompt, you're going to get a really detailed response back. And you're going to be able to use that information. It's going to be more custom for your business. When you just ask it a general question, like, tell me more about my ideal client, you're not going to get the richness and the details back. So that longer prompt is really going to help you. Any questions on that? Prompting it for your ideal client?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Now I'm going to show you, after that prompt, you're going to get lots of information. I want you to ask, what else would you need to know about me and my business to help me target my ideal clients online? And it's going to ask you questions and you answer those questions. And then you're going to get even better information back. I'm going to show you my detailed description of my ideal client. And I have a couple profiles created.
Suzanne, I actually did
Yeah.
have one question.
Yeah.
Have you played around with Claude as well as GPT? Or...
Yes,
Okay.
that's one of my favorite tools, is something called ChatHUB. ChatHUB uses, you prompt it the same way, and then you get 6 responses from 6 different AI platforms all at one time. So you can kind of oh, that one sounds more like me, or oh, that one makes more sense. Or you can combine all 6 of the answers together and put that back in and refine and get something even closer to your language.
Gotcha. Okay. Because one thing that I've been noticing or hearing more of is that Claude is really useful for the copywriting side of it versus ChatGPT is really
Yes.
great for the research and the
Yes.
scraping the internet. So I wasn't
Yes.
sure if you were using or how
Totally.
you're utilizing them.
Totally agree. There's another platform I'm going to talk about later today that's great for like presentations and slideshows, but you have to have all the information researched and, you know, first. And I think Claude does a better job citing sources. And so if you're actually doing research for an article, like I'm writing an article for someone else, and I'm going to use AI for information or sources to find information, but I would never use it to write the article for me. So I hope that makes sense. Bruce, you have a question?
Yes, it's just Chef Quad. I hope you made it. Chef Quad. Could you just repeat what you said? ChatGPT is better for this. Claude is better for that.
Yeah. And so this
thanks
is just
about
kind of, yeah, this is just what I found recently, that ChatGPT can connect to the internet and you can use it to research and pull up statistics online and stuff, versus Claude is, from what I've seen, a little bit better at the copywriting side of it, where you can give it inputs and say, write me a copy for a landing page with this focus or this target audience.
And I would say, you know, I have a thread that's programmed for my business. It took 11 prompts to get to that point where that thread was talking like me. And that would be a 4-hour workshop on that. But if you're interested in discussing that or having those prompts, just let me know and I'm happy to share. But here's what's possible. We're not going to finish your ideal client research today, but I want to inspire you by showing where I got to after the prompt I just gave you and asking ChatGPT to ask me more questions about my brand. What else do you need to know? So after that prompt, it's going to give you an output, and then you're going to say, what else do you need to know so you can help me further clarify my ideal client? And it will ask you a list of questions, and you're going to be astonished at the questions that it asks you. But by giving it that information, you're going to get something along the lines of what I'm going to show you. And I want this to inspire you. This is my Evernote. It's where I keep everything. My ideal client, they actually gave my client a name, like a title, which is really cool. Age, gender, occupation, income above 6 figures, the psychographic information, the personality traits. And as I looked through this is actually who I like to work with. And this is because I took the time answering those questions the right way. The business challenges, yeah, they're pretty spot on. Goals and aspirations, why they need Suzanne. This was super helpful in me creating the content that's going to speak to them. So instead of just putting random content on LinkedIn, if I speak to these things, that's going to help those people who are following me, reading my content, be more aware of the results that I can do. So pulling them in to be, oh, I have that problem, and Suzanne's the person to help me with that, which is what you want. You want people booking on your calendar who are problem aware, and they're just not aware of the solution. If you're talking to people who are not aware of the problem, who aren't aware of the solution, who don't even know that they could have a problem, that's when you have those meaningless conversations that don't move your business forward. So, by knowing why people need to hire you, it allows you to listen for things and create better content. And then knowing how you help. So what was interesting for me is that I didn't word these things properly until I did this research. So tailored coaching programs, yes. Leveraging my athletic background to instill a culture of peak performance and resilience. Never, ever did I word it that way, that my military upbringing, my athletic background was going to fuel the personal habits of your business, because that's what it does for me. Oh, okay. That makes sense, because chat knew all about that about me. So it knew things that I wasn't incorporating into my marketing. And I guarantee there's some things that are missing for you. Testimonials and success stories. This is who should I focus on getting testimonials from? You don't want recommendations from everybody. So focusing on testimonials and kind words from the people that you want to attract is going to attract more of those people. Now, where this really gets good, here's what I asked. Can you come up with some pain points for this ideal client audience? 7-figure earners who know they are not functioning at peak performance, blah, 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 blah. All the things it already mentioned, but let's come up with some pain points. So here, chat's answer: pain points for the 7-figure earner target audience. Now, I didn't have these fears, because I've gotten past all these things in my business. But what was really, really interesting was this right here. I had that problem. And I spoke to it in one post about how I fixed that in my life. And 3 people reached out to me and booked a time to talk, because it's not something normally that people talk about publicly. And there is no founder or CEO out there at a peer group or a mastermind or a networking group saying, my wife's really up my ass because I work all the time. No, they're not talking about that. But the fact that they read a post from me, they didn't comment, they didn't like. It was DM all the way. Suzanne, that post really spoke to me. I'm having issues. Can we talk about it? Yes, we can. Thank you so much. The next thing was ask how it's going to link. By the way, I asked the question here. It linked the pain points to my solutions. And you could be more direct with that. You can say, based on those pain points and my 8-week accelerator, my 12-month coaching program, and my one-on-one offer that you've already put in there. You've already told it all about your offers. How can my offers help address these pain points? Do you see any gaps in that? And so now I have words that help me describe what I do with my clients. I hope that is inspiring to you. Any questions so far? We're going to go on to the next tool. Yes, Mike.
I just want to say I got my avatar here. I was sorry. I just ran it through here and plugged in a few things, and I got a Coach Jack Davis, who's I know is pretty pretty specific.
Nice.
I feel sorry for the guy.
Can you help that guy?
Yeah, of course. You know, and
Right.
that is how deep you want to go. How deeply do you want to call somebody out on? It's one thing if like, okay, you know this is going to take its toll on family. So you can passively say, well, this takes toll on families. And I can talk to Suzanne about that. Nobody will know about it.
Yeah.
But this is like an identity thing. Because with athletes, you know, they're like what they say, a Jedi in the streets and a Sith in the sheets. You're one of these. You know, the locker room is your safe space. The court, the field is your safe space. But then out there, all of a sudden, you don't want to come across as being fragile.
Right.
And you see that so much, big muscle guys who want, you know, how deep you want to go. It's like, you know, you're pretty fragile, aren't you? I don't know how deep you want to go there.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, depending on your ideal client, I met a speaking coach last week who works with executives who have anxiety. They want to rise, they want to go up the corporate ladder, and they're nervous. They have anxiety about being in front of people, maybe speaking their mind in boardrooms, right? And his website said, own your voice, own the room. I was like, I know exactly what he does. Exactly. And he said that that came from a deep dive into his ideal client, anxiety, not performing well, wants certain things, but they're not getting there. What do they need to do to get there? They need to own their voice so they can own the room. And it could be that simple, what you come down to from all of this ideal client work that I did. It was magnify your presence, your personality, your income, your authority, and your influence. Oh, okay. Now, depending on who I talk to, I only need to say one of those things. Mike, what would it be like to magnify your authority in this space and have those people, like that coach that you just described, reaching out to you? They might not like or comment on your posts because they don't want to be seen publicly, but they're going to DM you and say, Mike gets it. I want to talk to you. So I can narrow down the words to say to the person in front of me so that it resonates with them in a deeper way. Let's go to Bruce.
Yes, this is amazing. You can't stop learning enough about it. I wanted to just share 3 quick tips of things that I've learned as I've used it.
Sure.
At the end, whenever I finish, the last thing I do is to say, review the conversation, tell me what I did well and what I did not do well that I can do better next time I use you for this kind of exercise. And it really helps in defining. You can actually start off by saying, I want you to help me write a prompt, and this is what I'm trying to do. And not just for one, but that you could then say, do in ChatGPT and put in others.
Yes.
And the third one is that you can use them to get answers, but it's a really good brainstorming tool. But if you're using it for brainstorming, you need to tell it, I want to brainstorm with you, because then the answers it gives you will not be, this is the answer. It may give you alternatives. It may ask you questions in response.
Very good, Bruce. Great reminder to be open and creative when you're doing this work. And, something as simple as, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need to know? Is there anything else I need to know? That can be, treat it like a brainstorming session is great. But sometimes, for example, I love to ask it to create a prompt for me. You can easily say, I'm trying to create X. And for me, sometimes it's content or a workshop or an outline. Recently, I used it for an email and I typed in the whole scenario. I need to respond to an email that said this. I want to respond with authority and influence, but kindness. But I need to say no to this person. And I need to tell them, I'm not introducing you to anybody. I'm not interested, but I want to say it in a classy way. And it gave me a response that actually got a response from the person. Thank you so much for your kind words. And I'm sorry we're not a good fit, blah, blah, blah. Would you mind telling me more? It's like, oh my God, I'm going to turn him into a client. Holy crap. Because I rejected him with an email that chat helped me write instead of what I would say in that situation. Right. So it felt more corporate, the response, than me just ignoring or me just saying, no, thanks, not interested, too good for you, buddy. Right? All right, gonna let Martine in. And then let's go on to enhancing your content. So, all right, you got the ideal client all figured out. You have your content pillars. If you don't have your content pillars, you can also use ChatGPT to come up with those. But we're gonna say you have your content pillars all figured out. You can create some incredible content with ChatGPT. And if you create video scripts or short video scripts, I highly recommend it for that. If you have somebody you know, like, and trust in the YouTube video space, there's many custom GPTs that you can search that will summarize YouTube videos. So, for example, if there is a coach out there in the world doing what you do, or somebody on YouTube that has millions of subscribers who does what you do, go find one of their videos, use a custom GPT to transcribe the video. This way you don't have to listen to the whole thing. Have it transcribed. Ask GPT not for the full transcription, but the key talking points. This is perfect for people like Martine, James, great to see you. Bruce, be good for you. Shaf, it would be good for you. Justin, good for you. So Alex Hermosi, you take a video of his. What are the key talking points? Oh, he's talking about this, this, and this. Cool. I'm going to make a video about that first one and go into real detail and real explanation and share it with my Facebook group. So you're taking trending topics that are being addressed by major people in your space. Who's the top coach in your space? Who's the top income earner in your space? If you don't know, go find out. See where they're producing content. Is it on YouTube? Is it on TikTok? There's a business coach right now who is killing it on TikTok. She's got 450,000 subscribers, and she runs an ad on TikTok for her new workshop, and she got 9,000 people sign up for her workshop, which is unheard of in today's event, like, invitation space. 9,000 people. Zoom can only hold 1,000. She was like, what do I do, Sue? What do I do? 9,000 people. She was not expecting that. I said, well, it's a good problem to have. You could have the workshop 9 times, or you could move to a bigger platform. And she's like, I don't even know what that would be. I said, it's WebEx. It's very expensive. How many people from that workshop are you going to convert into working with you? Like, what's the offer at the end? She said the offer is a low-end introductory offer. And I said, well, then don't invest in WebEx, but have nine workshops, and don't do that again until you figure this out.
17,000 limit on one of its tiers. You
Is
don't have
it?
to go to, yeah.
Yeah. So, she's going to have to invest some more money because what she did worked so well. And I asked her, I said, how'd you get 350,000 followers on TikTok? She said, making a video every day and researching what the trending topics were in the coaching space on other platforms and bringing that to TikTok and cross-promoting with my other social media channels. That's it. And she's only been doing it for 10 months. So it's totally possible, right? And, I don't know what she's going to do with these 9,000 people. Hopefully she's going to, upgrade her Zoom account or do something else, to have those people. But what a good problem to have. And it's because her content speaks directly to her ideal client who's has a business and wants to be a manifester and a visualization person and wants to manifest more abundance. I don't like that stuff. I'm not into all of that. I mean, I do it, but I'm not out there talking about it. And that's what she talks about. So she attracts 20 to 40 something year old females. Wonder why I don't attract them, because I'm not talking about those things, but it's on purpose because I know who my ideal client is. So if you say you create some video trainings for your clients, I do one training per month, and I record that training. I share it on YouTube. This is going to go to YouTube. Now, I do a training where there's nobody in the audience. It's just me talking about a topic, training. It's either for my clients or it's for content. Now, here's what I do with it. I use a platform called Opus, OPUS, and I take that training and I drop it into Opus, and it makes video shorts for me. Simple, easy. They are not what somebody would create for me. I mean, they don't have the incredible thumbnails. They don't have there is writing on the screen, but there's no fancy, transitions. It's just me, but I can edit what I say. So I can start it 3 words earlier. I can start it 3 words later. I can X out words. So it is editable. And I only take the A quality videos. So 1 hour long video will make me 40 30-second clips of really good stuff. That's enough content for a whole month or more. So that's one way I'm using it, but it goes right back to the ideal client, the pain points, the research of trending topics on YouTube and TikTok. And if something is trending on TikTok, business-wise, you can be damn sure it's over on YouTube. You can find somebody talking about it, but only find somebody talking about it who has millions of views on their video. And what are they saying? What's their title? What's their hashtags? What are the things that they're mentioning in the video? Okay, I can make a video like that. I can do a training like that. And then you break that up into smaller content. So that's how I use Opus and the research that goes behind that. Bruce, you have another question?
Yeah, just how do we, so do you copy the link to the YouTube video and drop that into the AI? Is that how you
Yes.
upload the video for them to transcribe?
Yeah, I'll show you where I grab it from. So here's ChatGPT. And so I have the paid version. If you don't have the paid version, you cannot do this. Right up here, you can switch between different modes of GPT. And then over here, you can click on this where it says Explore GPTs. These are custom GPTs that have been created by people. I'm working on creating my own with my coaching methodology programmed in, so people will be able to ask a custom GPT questions that you would ask me. It's going to be really fun. But you can search through here for custom ones, and I just do a search for YouTube, and you're going to get a bunch of results. Free YouTube summarizer, YouTube video summarizer. I look for ones that have a lot of downloads. These have more than 100. This one has more than 300. So I think that's the one I use. Yes, that's the one I use right here. And I have it pinned, my favorite ones. And you can also do a PDF summarizer. That's where I load my own PDFs into it and summarize things that I've written or someone else. Say I get a download from somebody, and I don't want to take the time to read it. Or say I have a PDF copy of a book. I can drop it in this PDF summarizer and ask it to summarize it for me and give me an action plan. I did that with a copy of the book, Key Person of Influence, and created an action plan for myself from the book summary. So that's the custom GPTs. And if you do the YouTube search, I like this one. So this will tell you all about it, how to use it, what to prompt, some key prompts that you could use. And you just click start chat, and then you share the YouTube link with it and say, please summarize this video and give me the key talking points. So this is going to cut your learning time down. For example, I was trying to learn how to connect two softwares together, and I found 4 videos from 4 people I trust. I put all of those videos into here and said, please summarize each of these videos and make the simplest plan to get this accomplished. So I'm getting 4 people's opinion, summarizing it, and then saying, please give me a plan to get that accomplished. Okay? Does that help, Bruce?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right. Any questions before I move on to the next tool? Deer in headlights, everyone. No.
Just an add-on.
Yeah.
But following on from all of this great summary stuff, if you have the paid version of Fathom,
Yes.
which records your calls,
Yes.
it does this function for you, which is super helpful in terms of maintaining client relationships and going, where am I and what's going on? And
Oh, yeah.
if you've got like a CRM and you want to update it, it basically has all the key points. So if you have a sales pipeline software or a general CRM or any of that sort of stuff, highly recommend you get it. It's easily the best one on the market.
Oh, yeah. It's
It
phenomenal.
blew my mind.
The other thing that you can do if you're going to a lot of networking events and you're struggling with who to meet with and who not to meet with, save the chat and take that chat and turn it into, you can copy it and put it into ChatGPT, or you can turn it into a PDF and drop it into ChatGPT and say, please summarize this chat with the key emails I need to reach out to. Please summarize this chat and give me, here's the best one. Give me a list of all the people who have their LinkedIn profile and email in this chat. It gives you a list of the people, their LinkedIn profile and their email. So what do? I copy that, put it on a spreadsheet, drop it right into my CRM, and I can send 20 people or 50 people or 100 people the same exact email. Hey, it was great to see you at such and such networking event. Would love to connect sometime. Follow me on LinkedIn over here. And here's the link to my calendar. I had to stop doing it because there was too many people on my calendar. Make sense? Awesome. All right. Oh my gosh. Do you hear my dog barking, or you can't hear that? No. Okay. Well, at least you can hear it. It's just driving me crazy. Okay. All right. Next tool we're going to talk about is something really, really fun. It's called Gamma. And I'm going to show you what it created for me. Gamma is a PowerPoint creator, all using AI. But I will open it up and I will show you how easy it is to create something to give as an incentive for people to get on your list. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek at my new opt-in. But I want to encourage you that I've used this for 3 presentations now. One talk that was like a slideshow up on, and I was on stage and there was a slideshow. And it was great. And I left the Gamma branding on it. Even though I have the paid version, I left the Gamma branding on it so that people would ask me what it was. Oh, it's an AI platform I use to create presentations. Come to my workshop and I'll show you how to use it. So it was kind of like that extra little thing at the end of my talk to have people continue a relationship with me. So what Gamma can do, and I'm going to bring it up for you, And there's a free version that you can play around with and test it. And you're going to see, I've only made a couple presentations in it, but what is really cool, you can import an existing presentation. You can import a theme. You can start from blank and you can create a brand new one with AI. So when you use AI to do it, you can paste in all the text. So imagine having a whole 3-hour workshop, pasting in your text or your outline for the workshop, and automatically click of a button, a PowerPoint slides to go with you teaching the workshop is done. Done. There's some slight edits that I had to make. I added some different pictures and things, but I will show you what I created in less than 5 minutes and then a couple minutes for editing time. And by doing this, saved me hours and hours of making presentations. And I'm using it currently for a proposal, a very, very expensive proposal, and putting a professional like presentation together for a company so quickly is really amazing. Really amazing. So let me just show you. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to show you my productivity toolkit. This is my new opt-in. So when you visit my new sales page for my 8-week accelerator, this is your freebie just for visiting the page. And I'll share that with you if you want to get a copy of this. But basically, this was all created. I edited nothing except the links in this presentation. So there was no spelling mistakes. There was nothing I changed. It picked the pictures in the background for me. And what I edited was these 4 buttons. I put in links to the actual softwares that we're talking about today. Then it did workflow for me. This was all in my notes. And you can click here and download my Notion productivity dashboard, quick tips for helping your productivity, all things I teach my clients, bringing it all together, download your toolkit, take action, get support, last page, schedule a discovery call. So that's my new opt-in. That's my new freebie I'm giving away. And it took me 5 minutes to have this created for me. And I downloaded it in PDF form. Now it's available on my website. The beautiful part is these notes all came from my actual content of my coaching program that I programmed into ChatGPT. And I said, based on my program, what are some ideas for an opt-in that would be attractive to potential clients for this program? It gave me 10 ideas. I picked my favorite and had it generate the content based on the content of my coaching program. So I didn't have it make up a PDF out of thin air. It made up a PDF based on content from my program and this very workshop that you're in right now. Oh, so that's how it's talking like me. That's how it's supplying the content that's like me. So this one I absolutely love. And this one is a talk I gave on stage and all about my charisma code. And it designed this whole entire PowerPoint. Again, I put in a picture of myself. It picked all of these pictures. It did the layout for me. I picked the black background. I added this QR code to get guidelines to telling your best stories. I gave this talk in front of 300 people. 70 downloaded this. And then once we get to the end, I invite people to a transformation. And then there is another QR code to get a free workshop with me and some other bonuses. So this QR code lands you, you can go look at it if you want. It lands you on a page to schedule time with me, schedule a workshop with me, bringing you more closer into my world. So again, speaking to 300 people and then bringing the ones who are interested closer, higher success rate when you actually meet with people. Right. So I'm not just going from free PDF or free talk to book a call with me and talk about working together. It's hear me talk, bring you closer. Now you trust me. Now we talk about working together. That's what's missing in the online space today. And I think you really need to be doing that extra step today, especially if you want to win business. So any questions about Gamma and how you would use it to shortcut things for you? Do you like it?
I had a question, Suzanne, that's somewhat related about when you're able to get down to your avatar and who they are, and obviously they hang out in different groups, different associations. I'm looking at. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I can shift it from fitness now into sports, 1 degree of separation. How much do you ask for? Obviously, you're looking for clients. You don't want to say, hey, does anybody want to hire me for my $10,000 package? Where do you go? What's the first overture once you know who and where these people are?
Well, I think it's twofold. I've had much better luck as I've upgraded, and I use the term upgraded, changed my programs and upgraded my ideal client. So since I've done that in the last year, year and a half, I have much better luck when I pick my clients. And you can call that a little bit of intuition and a little bit of, you know, energy vibe. Like, what's that person's vibe? What are they about? Are they going to get me? Are they going to want help with something? And then meeting those people, I'm much more successful. So if you go for one, say you go to a networking event and there's one person who stands out, maybe in the breakout room, maybe in the main room, one person who you know you could help serve in some way. Might not be them being a direct client of yours, but it could be somebody who will deal with your ideal clients and refer business to you. And by picking that one person and going for a deeper relationship with that person, then you're more apt to have them trust you, have them refer business to you, and have them say, oh, Mike, you know, I am struggling a little bit with my presentations and my talks. How I think you could help me. And it's only because of how you've shown up for that person. And I'm going to pick on Bruce in a second, because I don't think Bruce is a client for me. We met, we connected. I understand what he does. He's understanding more what I do by being around me, not by what I've said. And Bruce, correct me if I'm wrong. We now have each other's phone number. He has permission to call me if he has a question. And I know he has a question about something, then we're going to talk about it this week or next week, because somebody else told me he had a question and said, you need to talk to Suzanne about that. So I've established a trusting relationship with Bruce and he with me. And it's not because I wanted to sell Bruce my program or because I need what Bruce does. We have knowledge that can help each other for sure, but it's about the quality of that connection and how can we take that to the next level. Does that make sense, Mike?
I get it. You and I talked about that, recruiting your people, and I've been working on that. I get torn between who I jive with most and who I can help the most. That's the kind of thing. But since you're in such good graces with Bruce, tell him, might be time to hire a speaking coach. One of these days, Bruce.
So Bruce,
When I have something to say, I know who people are.
What did you think by the way I described our relationship?
Yes, very true.
Okay.
And my experience had been pre being virtual, that because I knew a lot of people, if I can just put people to, I know that if I talk to a lot of people and put them together, and not everybody's going to be a client or referral, that the business is going to come to me. And I think that for everybody else's benefit, probably the biggest thing that I've done, and it wasn't intentional. I was thinking, if I do this, I'll be Suzanne's friend, but is I connected Suzanne with Justin. God, I always do. Justin helped me rebrand myself, and have no shortage of good things to say about. He's a great guy to know if you don't know him. But both of them, what connected them was Suzanne describes herself with a term that I can never remember or pronounce, but the idea is nobody else is that, so you can't compare me to other coaches.
Yeah.
And Justin does the same thing. And so since they both did that, and since they both have the ability to, which I've seen from work talking to them, they talk to you, they see possibilities you don't, and can come back with that. I said, you two need to talk to each other. And so that's our relationship. Maybe one day I'll get to the point where I do need to engage you, but that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
And Suzanne taught me building a relationship isn't always about having somebody pay you. Sometimes it's about what you can refer them to, what resources.
Yeah.
Can I just add on to that Bruce, the genius at, well, I don't think it's actually intentional, but this ability that he has to immediately from a place of generosity, meet you, get you, got it, you need this person and do it. The amount of people you hear say, oh, I'll connect you with this, we should jump on a call and da-da-da-da, and nothing happens.
Yeah.
With Bruce, he's very proactive at doing that. And if anybody here has, read Laws of Influence and stuff like that, you'll understand that generosity immediately makes you psychologically feel that you're indebted to him. And it's a very strong emotional trigger. So, yeah, and I've done that before myself, and it's a good reminder, Bruce, that I actually used to do that. I used to be very proactive in connecting people on LinkedIn, and as a result, I got lots of referrals. And it reminds me of the old saying, whatever you want, be it.
Yeah, and I totally agree, but I would say there is a wrong way. You could be a giver in the wrong way. You could give too much, or you could just connect people for the sake of saying that you connect. Like, so, for example, if you meet someone who wants to accelerate their business and they're a little timid, they're a little shy, maybe they're not ready to take bold action, not a good client for me. I'm not really interested in this point in pussyfooting around somebody who's scared. But if there's a bold action taker, you immediately know, oh, that's somebody Suzanne could help get to the next level. But I didn't realize that I needed to say that to people. So now when I ask, hey, does anybody know somebody over 50 who's leaving corporate, who still has intellectual, property in their head that they want to get out into the world in a big way, I want to meet them. That's a perfect client for me. And it wasn't until I said those things, I had to know them first. So you have to know who you want, and then you ask the right people for that. I had lunch with somebody today who immediately, he said, I know 4 of those people. They're all in my mastermind group. I'll connect you as soon as I get home. Oh, and it's because I'm sitting across from somebody who actually knows those people. Totally intentional on my part. I knew he knew those people. I knew based on what he does, the groups he leads. I spent the time doing research with him, and I provided massive value to him on our first call, helped him make over his entire LinkedIn profile. And afterwards, he said, what can I do for you? I said, well, I would love to teach a workshop for one of your mastermind groups sometime. Send me an outline. And we talked again. We had lunch today. Now he's making some introductions for me, and I'm going to teach a workshop in front of his 12 multi-million-dollar business owners. Yay. But I had to provide the value first. You have to be a valuable person in order to get valuable people. Make sense? Yes? No? Maybe so? Cool. All right. So lastly, what we're going to talk about, Justin mentioned Fathom. If you are scheduling Zoom meetings, like recurring meetings, you cannot use Fathom. Zoom will not let you record recurring meetings with Fathom. But if you're having client sessions, if you're having discovery calls, if you're having any type of one-on-one call or groups, you can use a tool called Fathom. There's a free version, there's a paid version. And again, I have the paid version, and I'll tell you why. I record every single coaching session with my clients, and then I have custom instructions for the summary. There's a spot where you can add custom instructions. And for my clients, they get the summary. And then at the end, it said, you told and agreed to Suzanne, you were going to do this. And Suzanne is going to do this. Our next appointment is on this date. And it's immediate. I copy it and I email it to my client right after their session. Sometimes they get it within 5 minutes of the session if I don't have anything afterwards. And the cool part is, not only does it give a summary of what we talked about, it gives them their action plan for the next week or 2 weeks. So I meet clients every week or 2 weeks. So it gives them their action plan. They know exactly, I committed to Suzanne, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and it needs to be done by the next time I talk to her. Awesome. And then my commitments are there too. So when I have that summary, it says, oh yeah, I told Bruce I was going to introduce him to this person, and this person. Make that happen as soon as I do the summary so I don't forget. And highly recommend, if you're seeing people one-on-one, and if you're really brave, record a discovery call, record a get to know you call, and see where you're screwing up. Where am I not selling myself properly? Where am I not leaning into that person when, oh my gosh, I just heard them say 3 problems I could solve for them. And I was so in my head waiting to talk that I missed all of that. And it really helped me get more present on my calls. And
that's where Fathom's going. They're trying. Yeah. I started developing this with a software developer, a sales management version of this, because clearly that's the opportunity, right?
Oh yeah.
Can you have a sales manager without hiring a sales manager? And this Basically, that's what it does. Sales process map, and then a sales management without having to hire a person.
Yeah.
And it's super, super helpful in terms of being a sales trainer myself and following what you did and didn't say. When you're training people, it's always, if they made a mistake, you go, did you ask this question? Yeah. What was the answer? I don't have it. So you didn't ask it. But in your head, you thought you did.
Right.
The other thing was, when you get good feedback from clients, you know, listening to all of your wisdom today, Suzanne, you've given me lots and lots of ideas of how to use this. Most people's websites, I do a lot of websites, use the same 3 or 4 testimonials for like 10 years.
Yes.
You know, if you only had 3 or 4 customers that worked out in 10 years,